Hello my friends, hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this new episode of Sartorial Talks. Today we're going to tackle a subject we never tackled since the inception of Parisian Gentlemen and Sartorial Talks, because it is the subject of sneakers. We've been among the ones, and I've been probably among the toughest opponents of the sneakers. So many times I couldn't understand why the young generation, it's probably a matter of generation by the way, but the young generation, we spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars in these big brands, Nike, Reebok, Adidas, Puma, whatever. We'll spend so much money to buy a piece of plastic that is glued in Bangladesh, sometimes by kids. And I couldn't understand, even aside from this humanitarian problem, I didn't understand what was the perceived value of a piece of plastic sold literally at the price of gold. And well, we have to surrender to the reality. When you open your eyes around you, this is what you see the most on the feet of people every day. And we were in Paris recently with Sonia. We're in Paris very often to visit our tailors and all the artisans we love. And we were just looking around us, and we were trying in the taxi to count the number of suits and, let's say, decent classic shoes we could see. And it was almost depressing. The wave of casualness is not a wave. It's a hurricane. I think when you see one person, even in some business areas where supposedly there's a lot of lawyers or bankers or professionals, you hardly see 2 or 3 suits in the street. Well, the reality is that we are not losing the war. You know what? Because this is not a war. It's just our taste. It's just our quest in life. We are preaching for a more elegant world. And I believe that our community, in fact, is growing. We can't see it now. It's a little bit early to see it in the street, but I can tell you there's a young generation. And maybe one day we're going to start to see it a little bit more. But back to our subject, even in Europe now, you can see this attempt of everybody wants more comfort. They want to be more comfortable. They want to feel easier. And even in the morning, they want to jump into their clothes, and they want to lace their pants. We are from an old generation. Me, I like to spit on my shoes and do this like that with sneakers most of the time. You don't have to do this, even if I will show you that the sneakers we're going to talk about are not the sneakers I was used to literally. I was despised to see all this Nike and Reebok and sold for this price. So first, let's clarify the word, because we hear, even here in France and in Europe, we hear about the word sneakers since maybe 5 or 6 years. Before we were using basket, which you don't use in the USA, tennis shoes or trainers. So what's the difference between all these kind of shoes? For us in Europe, it's the same. Basically, it's some kind of shoes you use for some sports purposes originally. And then it became something you can use in the street as every day, but originally it was for sports. So we can use sneaker or trainer or basket or whatever. It's the same kind of shoes. It's something very casual and extremely comfortable. But I've been looking at the semantic, and we love with Sonia to try to understand the etymology of the word. And so the word sneaker, and I believe sneaker is more used by luxury brand because it sounds a bit better than tennis shoes. If you want to sell a beautiful leather sneaker, I think the word sneaker sounds better. To my ear, remember, I'm just French, to my ear sounds a little bit more luxurious than tennis shoes or trainer. And so sneaker is coming from the expression that you guys know, of course, because you speak English certainly better than I do. It's coming from to sneak up. If I understand well, when you sneak up to somebody, on somebody, it means that you approach this person without making noise in order to surprise the person. Is that right, darling? This is the meaning of this sentence. And why do we call this a sneaker? It's because of the sole. If you do this with a leather sole, you will make noise. Boom, boom, boom. But if you do this with this rubber sole or very soft sole, you can sneak up to somebody without being heard. And that's the etymology and the origin of the word sneaker. So I hope you learned something already with me today. I didn't know this etymology, and this is why we call it a sneaker. So, of course, we can see it two different angles. You know, it's like many subjects in life. Sometimes we can see it from one angle, and if you reverse the angle, you have a different understanding. So the first explanation, and I know some purists all around the world that are following on will say, oh my gosh, this is the end of the sartorial world. Jacomet and Nicholson are speaking about sneakers now, so they surrendered to the adversary. Honestly, look at sneakers from 20 years or 25 years ago. Look at this horrible, for me, for my taste, Reebok and Adidas and stuff like that. Honestly, they were looking like, for me, pieces of plastic and glue sold for the price of gold. But now look at sneakers, even from not expensive brands, but even from luxury brands, or even from specifically from real shoemakers, from Italy, from France, from Spain, from Portugal, from America. Look at these sneakers today. Don't they look a little bit better than previously? Do you realize that more and more sneakers are made with real leather now? They were not made with leather before. So from my point of view, the sartorial world had an impact on the sneaker world. Maybe it goes both sides. So of course, with Sonia and all our team at PG and Sartorial Talk, we prefer this explanation. And we believe there's something quite right behind this, that maybe the impact is both ways. Yes, we've been impacted by this attempt of everybody to look for more comfort. But on the other side, yes, I think that the casual world has been impacted by the sartorial movement for the search for more customized things and maybe more quality. So the sneakers of today, I must confess to you, I was against this. I remember me saying 5 years ago, I will never wear this kind of stuff. I prefer my Oxford, my derbies. I will not see myself in this, even during the weekend. But actually, this is not true anymore, because I was corrupted by a few friends, and specifically by two friends in Paris, my friend CAULAINCOURT, Alexis Lafont, who sent me a pair of sneakers 2 or 3 years ago that was absolutely stunning, and my friend at ALTAN BOTTIER, I will show you those pairs later, in Paris too, who sent me a beautiful pair. Actually, I have the ALTAN BOTTIER right there. Okay, this is the object of the crime. This is how your sartorial hero turned into a traitor. That is to say, I surrendered to the enemy. No, I'm just joking, but look at that. Come on. This is real leather. These are beautiful sneakers. And actually, I can smell the Sapphire product because I've been, taking care of them to look good on the camera, because I'm wearing this a lot. Okay, let's be clear. Let's be clear. I don't wear this with suits. And that's something I want to make it clear in your mind. We are sartorialists. We love to dress up. We adore our derbies and Oxfords and boots and loafers and penny loafers and tassel loafers and double monks. We love them more than ever. We even dedicated our last book, massive last book, shoes. Let's put the picture of the book on the screen, because we still have, how many, baby? Like 50 exemplary left, and this high complete edition will be gone forever. So if you want to order it, this is your last chance, I can tell you. You write an email at hugo@parisgentleman.fr if you want to acquire this book. It's $99 plus shipping. Sorry, it's a little bit of promotion. It's not really promotion. I just want to tell you that we are running out of stock, and it's not going to be reprinted in this size, so you better go fast if you want to have your copy. So I was saying with Sonia and all our team, we love our shoes. So we are not saying, and this is not a show in order to show you that you should wear your sneakers at the office. No, it's just sharing our experience that sneakers have been evolving in the right direction, in our opinion. And then me, I can say I wear sneakers 15% of the time on weekends with a beautiful denim, a pair of jeans, selvage jeans, or with a beautiful hot pant in, you know, these blends of today in cotton, silk and wool, very comfortable. Even if you wear them high-waisted, with a beautiful pair of sneakers to go to the open market. We love open markets in France to go and buy fresh vegetables and fresh meat. That will work very. So it's more into casual situation, of course, and in resort situation, in this kind of situation, honestly, sneakers are becoming very, very stylish these days. And I wanted to share with you a selection. So, as all selection, my idea is not to say these are the best sneakers in the world and these are the... No, it's just a selection of 14 different brands that, in our opinion, are doing a good job in this area. But as you know, this market is literally exploding. Even the most classic brands of shoes are... Everybody is selling sneakers these days. So it's just a selection that we did with Sonia, seriously. But it doesn't mean, by no means, it's an ultimate selection of the 14 best sneakers in the world. No, it is not. It's just our taste, our choice, our pick on the subject, because you can find sneakers literally from $50 up to 5,000. There's an enormous range, like everything in the world. So we're going to start immediately with, what is very interesting is that we knew in France that the specialists of the sneaker making were more in the south of Europe. Portugal are very good at making sneakers. Italy is extremely good at making sneakers, and I guess they make the most luxurious sneakers in the world in ready-to-wear. Spain, of course, is very important, and even for people who live in America, most of the brands are importing their sneakers from Spain or from Italy, and also I said Portugal, but we discovered that the UK is now making their own sneakers in some very, very traditional factories. So it means also that the comfort market is even penetrating very classic factory. Let's go for our selection. We're going to start at 150 euros. So I'm sorry, I'm speaking in euros. So 150, let's say you add 10% to be sure. These days, it depends, 12%, 10%. Let's say that 150 will be $170. So I speak in euro. Each time I give a price, you just add 10% to have roughly the price in dollars. So let's start with our selection. Number one is this brand that we like for the excellent quality-price ratio. It's LOAKE, L-O-A-K-E. It's an English brand distributed by our friends at Herring in the United Kingdom. And look at that. It's beautiful. It's robust. They call it a trainer. So you'll see in this selection, sometimes they call it a sneaker, sometimes they call it a trainer. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing. And look at that. You know, you immediately see for this very reasonable price, you have something that have some, I would not say some class, but it says something. It's just not a pair of, you know, crappy shoes. No, it's beautiful. It's in leather. You can have it in, this is chestnut scarf. I love it. You can have it in suede. You can have it in different, you know, tan suede. It's kind of beautiful. And for the price, this is really, this with a beautiful pair of jeans, a beautiful hot pant, it works very well. And if you want to be comfortable at home or in the weekend, this is a very, very interesting product. That's our selection number one. It's LOAKE, distributed by Herring. And selection number two, we stay in the UK and we even stay with Herring, because I'm going to look it now. I'm doing it live with you on the computer, and I like this one. Well, maybe because I have a little bit of nostalgia. But these people at Herring, you know, they distribute the most interesting UK shoes. They are distributors, but they also produce a few shoes under their own name. And this one, which is made in Portugal, so they imported. This is what I like with Herring. Nothing is hidden. When they tell you what it is made, they don't say, we have artisans, no, they say, we outsource this in Portugal because Portugal for trainers are very good. They're very good factories there. And why I like this specific model, it clearly reminds me the iconic Reebok shoes from the 1980s. I remember my father, my dear father, who passed away last year, he was wearing these shoes until very recently because it was the shoes, the training shoes from the 1980s and 90s, the Reebok. Very important shoes. Sonia has no idea what I'm talking about because she's on the other side and I'm looking at the computer. Look at that, darling. It's real. It's a replica of the Reebok, but it's in leather. And it's so interesting. All of a sudden, this becomes very interesting to wear. There's a little trick about all this also, but with this kind of shoes, you notice that the sole is a little bit thick like that. So you can gain a few inches, you say?
Maybe an inch?
Maybe an inch, yeah, because in French we speak in centimeters. So me, if I wear a pair like that, for example, when I wear this, you can see, I can win 3 centimeters. So I reach 180. For us, it's a bar, as a man. So it's an hidden advantage of sneakers. But yes, so look at that. It's very interesting. It's 179 euros, so probably $190, a little bit less than $200. It's from Herring in the UK, made in Portugal. It's a very interesting pair of shoes for the weekend or for casual sitting. This is our selection number 2. This is called the Goodwood line by Herring in the United Kingdom. Now let's go to America, to be more precise to New York City, to our friend Justin Fitzpatrick, the shoe snob. If you are into shoes, you know Justin, everybody knows Justin in the shoe world. He was trained at Stefano Baumer in Italy. He studied in England as a patina artist and a shoe shiner, and then he studied a little bit in England, and he continued, and his dream was to create his brand, and he did it. We know him. We literally know each other. He was in the cradle as a shoemaker, and he started his line, and now he's an accomplished shoemaker. He has his own brand, J. Fitzpatrick Footwear, and he's doing a beautiful sneaker for $195. Which is fantastic price for the quality. This is, as you can see, real leather. You can have it in suede, in different colors, and there's something special. I just see it on his website. It's written, it's still on pre-sale, so you may pre-order it now and probably receive it in the next weeks. And if you buy 2, you get the 3rd pair for free. And believe me, I didn't know that, so I just read it now. And what is interesting is that you buy 2 pairs like that, you get 3. So if you have 3 pairs of sneakers of that quality for a reasonable, quote-unquote, reasonable price, less than $200, well, if you maintain them well, and this is a subject I want to tackle too, sneakers have, as long as they are now most of the time in leather or in suede, has to be maintained. You have to put woods in it after you wear them, and you have to put some nourishing product by Saphir, for example, beautiful. I do a little bit of French patriotism. Saphir is an amazing brand for anything about shoe care. So you maintain your sneakers, and honestly, of course, it's most of the time rubber sole. They are glued, cemented, we say, technically, but still they will not last 25 years, but probably 5, I would say, well-maintained, 5 years, 6 years, maybe a little bit more. And if you buy 2 pairs at Justin, you get 3 with 3 pairs. Honestly, if you maintain them well, they can last a long, long time. And this will never go out of fashion. Because as you can see, this is not a piece of multicolor, fluorescent crap made in Bangladesh with plastic and gel. They put so-called gel in it. No, it's decent shoes with cemented rubber sole, but real leather that you can really maintain. So you see, it's not only about the comfort, it's also the way you see it, and you can still be very elegant. Look, for example, today I'm taking the example of this pair. I will go very well with my shirt. You can imagine this with a nice pair of jeans or nice linen pants and beautiful sneakers. It works very well. So it means that comfort and style, they don't have to fight with each other. You can be comfortable while remaining stylish. And on the contrary, if you can also be stylish while totally having some comfort. So it means that when you go a little bit more casual, you know that Sonia and I, we love to dress up. It's our business, it's our job, and we adore it. But sometimes also we want to be a little bit more relaxed, you know, having a tie. We love ties, of course, but not every day. And sometimes, and see, I try to explain to you that those two ideas, and I don't know why, in the mind of so many people, in order to be comfortable, you have to sacrifice style. And I've seen people wearing some real bizarre stuff just for the sake of being comfortable. And they look at us when we're in our suits, and they look at us as we were in prison, literally in jail. But we are not. You can be stylish and comfortable. And the new generation of sneakers we are talking about is about that, being stylish and comfortable at the same time. Our selection number 4, I was telling you in the introduction of this show that the English are very surprising in this market, for my opinion, because it was not our first idea to say, oh, what the English are they are doing in the sneaker world, but they are very good. And we like very much this brand called Joseph CHEANEY, which has been taken over by the Church's brothers. You know, the famous brand Church that now is part of the Prada group. And so the Church family, they bought Joseph CHEANEY, tried to revive. It's an old brand from the late 1900, or late 1800 actually. And same thing, look at this beautiful, they call it a steel trainer in brown calf leather. And it's beautiful, look at that. It's 187 British pounds, so I'm sorry, we're speaking of 3 different currencies, around $200, let's say. But look at that, you know, you can see this, you see it's a real shoe, and it's made in the United Kingdom. It's not made somewhere very far from everybody's home. No, it's made here by people who are decently paid, with the good material, with good leather, and it's a beautiful pair of sneakers. So that's our selection number 4, Joseph CHEANEY and Sons in the UK, and this is called, I think as I just discovered by looking at you at this live with you, it's a collaboration with a brand called Gora, but you can see they have a lot of different trainers at Joseph CHEANEY. Then, okay, you know us, we can't go too far from France. We always come back a little bit. And so we come back to France, to our friend at SEPTIEME Largeur. SEPTIEME Largeur, we spoke about SEPTIEME Largeur in pretty much all our selection of shoes. We like them. We know the co-founder, Mathieu. We know they're doing a good job. They are crafting their shoes in Spain, in Almansa, like Justin Fitzpatrick's, by the way, that we spoke of just before. And though they did a very, very nice sneaker for this summer, and it's in a deer leather, white. The deer leather has a little bit of texture in it in comparison with the calf leather, so it's a little bit different, and we like it a lot. It's beautiful. As usual at Septième Largeur, the service is impeccable, the product is a fantastic quality price ratio, a good value, as you say in the USA, and it's a very, very secure brand. And they ship worldwide, so they can ship to the USA, they can ship all around the world. They even open now stores around the world, so it means, you know, quality as a future. And Septième Largeur is always advocating for quality. This model is called the Soho, and I find it extremely interesting for sneakers. We enter little by little in high quality sneakers. For selection number 7, okay, we stay. No, we don't stay in France. I was about to say we stay in France. No, we don't stay in France. We go back to the United Kingdom, and we go to an iconic brand founded in 1866. It's GRENSON. If you like, you probably heard about GRENSON in our former selection. If you like, you know, this sturdy Oxford, the brogues, with a lot of broguing, you know, all this perforation with thick soles, you know, these very English shoes. You heard about GRENSON. They're very good at that, with another brand called Trickers also. But GRENSON, they produce in the UK, and that's very interesting, inside their own factory, which is an old-fashioned factory in Northampton, which is the cradle of the beautiful shoes in the UK. They produce it right there in their factory, these beautiful sneakers. This one is called, well, sneaker number one. they don't do much efforts in terms of marketing, but it's beautiful. It exists in different colors. There's a lot of different models. And I find it very interesting that traditional shoemakers like GRENSON, which is by definition a traditional shoemaker, is proposing now, made in the UK, this type of shoe, and it's 210. So we're still in something which is kind of affordable, and believe me, this kind of shoe, if you maintain them well, they will last a long time. I was about to say, just before we come back to France, now we come back to France. And we go to our friend at CAULAINCOURT. So hello, Alexis Lafont. I know a lot of you guys in the US are ordering from CAULAINCOURT now. Very interesting shoemaker in France, in Paris. They craft mainly in Italy. And specifically for their sneaker, they craft a lot, everything in Italy. So they send me the first pair of that I received of sneakers was from CAULAINCOURT. It was a high sneaker. We call it un basket in French, in reference to the basketball, you know, these high sneakers. And it was in green, and it was formidably sexy, I must say. It was different. And I don't have them here, but I like them very much. But they had another model that I'm going to show you now. It's called the Tokyo, like the city of Tokyo. And I think that this has such a good flair in terms of design. As you can see, they do several crazy patinas because it's real leather. So all of a sudden, it's becoming very interesting to do some patina. You can give the color you want, you can give the personality you want to your sneakers, and it's becoming much more interesting than just putting trainers to go outside. It's becoming an element of style. Here we jump to another level because we are around 345 euros. That's probably $370. So you see, there's a gap all of a sudden between 210 and 345. In between, you can find hundreds of brands that are doing very decent sneakers. I know that Allen Edmonds, that is a very famous brand in the USA, is doing their pair of sneakers. I'm not a big fan. I find their style a little bit heavy and conservative, but once again, I have nothing against them. It's surely a good brand, but it's not really my style. And you know, here we speak about style mainly. And when you look at CAULAINCOURT, when I look at that, I say, I want this pair of sneakers because it has really some good flair. So it's our selection, number 7, and it's CAULAINCOURT from Paris, but they are shipping around the world. So if you like them, you can receive them very easily with a very good customer service, of course. And then we jump now to a brand that, okay, I received probably hundreds of comments in all our shows on shoes, on Sartorial Talks and selections. And what about Magnanni? And what about Magnanni? And what about Magnanni? You go say, okay, Magnanni. Magnanni sounds Italian, but it's not Italian. It's from Spain, actually. And I always answered the same thing as saying, well, I like Magnanni. They're good makers, but the style is a little bit outrageous for me. It's a little bit too, I don't know, daring maybe, a little bit too modern on purpose, but for sneakers, they are doing a great job. And this is why today they are part of our selection, and specifically this model that I like a lot. It has a little bit of a flair of this ancient Reebok that I showed you also before, and it's called the Camarena. And it's absolutely beautiful. I love it. And this is 350. So you see, 300. So it's in euros, so $380 probably. Very interesting, very beautiful. And this you can wear in a casual setting, and all of a sudden you are going. You know, we are going up little by little. You understand that the quality of the leather, the quality of the patina, the quality of the design makes a trainer becoming just a normal shoe, like a neutral shoe, and then becoming more interesting, and then becoming really interesting. And now, since 2 or 3 shoes, we are entering a world of really interesting and stylish shoes. So this was our choice number 8, Magnanni. And The model I prefer is the Camarena. I don't know if I pronounce it well because I'm not very good at Spanish. We come back to France very quickly with our national treasure, our national pride, the company called J.M. Weston. So if you are into shoes, you heard about Weston. Of course, it sounds English or American. It's absolutely not. It is French. You can't be more French than Weston. The factory is an exemplary factory, very traditional. They have their own tannery. So when you say Weston, you immediately hear extraordinary quality leather. So when they do anything, these people, they do it properly. It's not extravagant. As you can see, it's very sober. They call it une basket, because in French, trainer means, we say basket. It's a beautiful shoe, very sober, very high class, good quality. We are a little bit above $500, I guess, now, but it's Western. It's like really you are entering the world of high quality. And then we're going to move to probably one of my, you know us, we are so enthusiastic about all this, but, well, I show you my pair. I do it again. There's my pair. You see, there's my J, Jacome, and on this one, there's a H for Hugo. So I like to personalize everything. It's my little obsession. So this is ALTAN in Paris. We love these people. We love these people because they are super creative, as you can see. They do extravagantly creative things, but they are immensely wearable. And this is what struck me with ALTAN, that when you look at that, I said, oh, wow. When you wear shoes like that, you got to make a statement, but at the same time, you put them on your feet, and it looks so good all of a sudden. So this pair is $550. Oh, if you live outside the EEC, you can remove 20%, so probably $450. The tax is becoming complicated in the world depending on where you live. But anyway, it's around $500, maybe $600. Fantastic. They ship all around the world, this very pair, but they have others that are very interesting, very creative, and we really adore them, and we say hello to them, Pierre and ALTAN, because ALTAN is the name of the son of the founder, and they're very good people. They have a store close to the Champs-Élysées, Rue Lincoln, and they are a very good address. Actually, in Paris, we have two great addresses, in my opinion, for sneakers. It's CAULAINCOURT and ALTAN in Paris. Now, let's go to the USA. Well, let's go to the USA for a brand that sounds like an Italian brand called SCARPE di Bianco. And that is made in Italy, actually. But it's probably among the American brand. We've been speaking about them a few times. We really like the work of Scarpe di Bianco in America because they are really bringing something in the plate in terms of style that very few brands are bringing, if any. Of course, it's not very cheap. It's kind of now maybe entering the luxury world. Their classic shoes are, if you discover Scarpe di Bianco through this show, I really strongly advise to look at their Oxfords and also their Derbies. Their classic shoes are extraordinarily stylish, but they do also fantastic sneakers. My favorite pair is the Binetto Melograno. It's, as you can see, it's made in Italy. It's distributed everywhere in the USA. They're quite easy to find in the USA in department stores and everywhere. But you can also buy them online. They are located in the USA, in New York. And, well, this is super good quality. Honestly, for an American brand, and I don't want to be insulting at all, because when I say for an American brand, I know that in America, people, they like comfort, and most of the time, the American shoe seems a little bit large for me, a little bit, I don't know, puffy, if I may say. It's not very refined, except Scarpe di Bianco, which is doing really, you have this Italian flair, and I think they should be, if you are looking for some elegant sneakers, something that really put you out of the crowd. Same thing, once again, look at their full range of shoes. It's a very, very interesting brand. Sorry, Scarpe di Bianco was our choice number 11, and it's in the United States of America, and the shoes are made in Italy. Now we come back for 12. We almost there because we only have 14 in our selection. 12, okay, we come back to CORTHAY. We know we love Pierre CORTHAY. If you are following this channel, we did a great interview discussion with him 6 months ago. A lot of people love Pierre CORTHAY because he's a great shoemaker, but he's also a great designer. And he created for his brand, because, you know, all the brands, they have to have some sneakers now in their range, because that's the market today. But this is where you see the genius and the capacity of real designers of shoes. Every time they put their hands on something, it has something that works. And that's the truth for so many different things in the world. And CORTHAY, okay, CORTHAY he makes classic shoes, but all the CORTHAY shoes have a strong personality. And that's also the case for his sneakers. It's called the 1990s, in reference to the 1990s, the years. And we have funny pictures of these shoes with Sonia we're going to show you. Because one day, we had the luck to spend the night at the Ritz Hotel. The Ritz Hotel, not a Ritz-Carlton chain. The Ritz in Place Vendôme in Paris. Okay, the secret, we were invited for some special event. So we had the luck to sleep in this crazy hotel where everything is in gold, even the toilets are in gold. And well, that's another story. And we can't afford that, you know, every day. But we were invited. And so whereas CORTHAY has his shop literally next door to the Ritz Hotel, we say to Pierre, come, and we're going to have fun, try your sneakers, do some pictures with Andy. And so we had a lot of fun taking pictures, and as you can see, they are very stylish, interesting. It's a lot of flair. I don't know the exact price, maybe a little bit under $1,000, a little bit above in this area of price. So now we are clearly in the luxury world, but this is CORTHAY. And CORTHAY, no matter what you think, no matter what you say, no matter what you are used to when you put a pair of CORTHAY, it says something. It's just what design is all about. And now, for the last two, I must say, we come back to France, but for very special things. Everything we've been talking about since now are ready to wear. So you can buy them online if you know your size. And you know, a sneaker is easier to fit than a classic shoe because it's more, you know, it's easier. You know, if you really know your size, you can still, of course, write to all the people we selected are very serious people, of course. But it's kind of easier. It's easier, you know, with a sneaker. But the last two are very special people because they are, both of them, bespoke shoemakers. The first one, it's Maison CLAIRVOY. CLAIRVOY, C-L-A-R-E-V-O-Y. We're going to write it on the screen. CLAIRVOY is the first time we speak about CLAIRVOY on Sartorial Talk, and it's a scandal, I must admit, because I don't know why sometimes, you know, it's like it's so big in front of our eyes that we don't see it. And this man, the master shoemaker, so now we talk about handmade stuff. Really fully handmade in an atelier by the guy himself. So we don't speak about the same thing. And the maestro is called Nicolas Mestrio. It's funny because his name is almost sounds like maestro, but it's Nicolas Mestrio. And he's doing, okay, I don't know where you live because we have subscribers from all around the world, but you probably all know about the cabaret, the most famous cabaret in France called Le Moulin Rouge. Okay, so CLAIRVOY and Mr. Maestro are owned by the Moulin Rouge. Literally, they are integrated into the Moulin Rouge company because they make all the bespoke shoes of the dancers of the Moulin Rouge. I need to say, every French cancan you see at the Moulin Rouge, every dancer, every singer, everything of this amazing show that is world famous, all the shoes are made bespoke for all the artists by this man and his team in his atelier. So it tells you already how they master comfort. Because you understand, when you're a dancer, spending hours on stage every day, if not several times a day at the Moulin Rouge when it's reopening now, thank God, you know, after this pandemic, you need to be comfortable as a dancer. So it means that when a guy is able to craft shoes for dancers, you can understand he might be able to craft shoes for you too, and reaching a certain level of comfort. So it's only made to order. It's made to measure and made to order. It's not strictly bespoke in the pure sense of the term, because it doesn't make the last. The model exists, but you can choose everything. You can choose the material, you can choose the skin. It can be in calf, it can be in suede, it can be in alligator, it can be any kind of exotic skin. And this is a very interesting piece. Now we are really moving to the almost bespoke, fully handmade artisanal shoe, are the first artisanal sneaker made by these people in Paris at Clairvoy. The name of the sneaker is called Rock Your Body, okay? It's a little bit funny, and it's around, I think it starts around $900, $1,000, and it can go up to a little bit more, probably up to $2,000, depending on the skin. Because of course, if you want some precious alligator skin in a certain color, it will cost you. But there we enter the world of luxury, but I must confess, I would like to have this maybe for my next Christmas. I'm thinking about having a pair of made-to-order, fully handmade sneakers by Nicolas Mestrio in Clairvoy. They have a website. You can take a look at that, and on Instagram. We're going to give you all the information. And we're going to finish with, I would say, the wild child, the wild children of shoemaking in France, Christophe Courthay and Christophe Algance. We call it Toulouse. It's his name, Toulouse, from the city of Toulouse. Both of them are compagnons du devoir. If you're into Sartorial Talks, if you've been seeing a lot of shows on this channel, is this guild of craftsmanship who are studying their craft by moving when they're young from master to really learn from the best. Both Christophe, they created 3 or 4 years ago their own atelier called Atelier du Tranchet. They have a chapter in our book, and they are doing incredible shoes. I mean, it's literally, we are the very frontier between art, modern art, and craftsmanship. These people are really creating unique shoes that nobody else creates in the world. And of course, they do the most crazy, the craziest, the most creative, and the most luxurious sneakers in the world. I have no idea of the price. It's probably a few $1,000s, depending on the skin. You have to wait a long time. You have to come to Paris to be measured. I don't know if they travel. This is I don't want to say the Rolls Royce, because maybe you prefer Bentley or Aston Martin or Bugatti. But that's, we are reaching maybe the highest level of sneakers available in the world, because it's made by 2 guys who really have all the traditional techniques in their hands, and they dedicate this to make some crazy. They have some models called, in our book, we featured a model called Dark Vader, in reference to the Star Wars. And these are very funny people, very creative, very pop art, and at the same time, extraordinary artisans. So if you want to have the top of the line of the sneakers in the world, you can't not at least take a look at the work of Atelier du Tranchet, Christophe Courthay and Christophe Algance in Paris. Well, that's all, folks. As you used to say when I was looking at cartoons in France, we were so happy to say, that's all, folks. Everybody knows this in Europe. That's all, folks, for today. I hope you enjoyed this show. So once again, don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I don't say to you, you should only wear from now sneakers. No, of course not. Continue to buy real shoes. Continue to support real craftsmen. Continue to buy beautiful Oxfords and Derbies. And if you are a young person starting in your professional life, give real shoes a chance. Try this amazing experience to have really good leather shoes made by great artisans. You will see, you will feel so much better. I just say that with these sneakers fashion, we can say this sneakers is no more a wave, it's a hurricane. This is overwhelming, that now maybe, as Sonia and I, maybe 10% of the time, 15% of the time, sometime you can give your feet a little bit of a joy, and when you go outside on a casual setting, or you are going to the market, or you just want to go outside, we have the luck in France, you go outside, you walk 1 minute, you buy a baguette, and you come home. This is the way cities are organized in France. There are shops. Literally, you can walk to the shops, like in the real city centers, even if you live like us in a village. So yes, I'm telling you, you can give now sneakers a chance. It's no more a crime. And I'm sorry if there's some purists you want to throw bad comments, please go ahead. If you want to throw rotten tomatoes at us, please go ahead, because we have a saying in France. We say, only idiots don't change their minds. And it's a very interesting quote, because it makes us make sure that we don't look like idiots, because we did change our minds about this subject of sneakers. I hope you enjoyed this show. I give you an appointment to the next episode of Sartorial Talks. And in the meantime, don't forget to dress well, dress up again, my friends, and see you soon. Bye-bye.